Hello and welcome back to another Haichu review. This one's very special because we're both going to be looking at a very unique and interesting flavor, and also because we're bringing in our Midwest Chew correspondent, Bruce. Bruce, thank you for joining us.
Thank you. It's wonderful to be here. I know I've been a long time correspondent, and in my mind, kind of the brains behind the operation of this Haichu video network. And it's good to actually finally come out of the background and come to the forefront and show my true expertise as Haichu expert, especially for a rare and exciting flavor such as this.
Well, I suppose I will give you some credit. You have been very helpful. Brains behind the operation, I don't know. I've been doing a lot of work on
Well,
this
I've
series.
received a lot of correspondence from your YouTube viewers that have been thanking me pretty effusively for my comments and expertise. So I'll just let that speak for itself.
Well, Bruce, why don't you bring your hands into the
show.
shot? So you know, see, I mean, also it's beyond just like having expertise. You have to really understand the craft of video. But why don't you go ahead and tell us about this flavor?
So this is a flavor that your host and I thoughtfully bought over the internet several months ago and anticipated tasting together, but circumstances didn't really allow that to happen. And it's a interesting flavor. We haven't seen it yet on the U.S. markets, and it's as you can see by the helpful pictures here, it appears to be wine and cheese.
Yeah,
flavors.
a very sophisticated adult flavor, different than the flavors we're typically used to. It seems to come from Japan.
Yeah, I mean, I wouldn't know to say that for sure, but...
Well, let's take a look. It is uha. I think uha is maybe just limited to the Japanese market. Those look like Japanese characters, and usually you can find a website. You know what, I'm just going to say it's Japanese. I'm fairly confident about that. But, you know, viewers, feel free to correct us if you actually can read any of these languages. Should we just dig right in? I'm very excited about this flavor.
Yeah, let's rip open this sucker. Oh, so the first surprise, I was kind of expecting this to be of the loose floating candy within the pocket pack variety, but it looks like we're going to have a little
additional packaging.
2 layers of packaging to go through here. Again, you see the wine and the cheese illustrated on the individual wrappers.
Kind of like a, yeah.
In typical uha fashion, we see a solid colored taffy on the outside, in this case pink, with some yellow objects kind of stuffed into the mix.
Yeah, I guess those must be the little cheese bits in there, and this is kind of a light Merlot flavor, I guess.
What do you say we give it a try?
Let's pop them in. Okay. Well, I know my first impressions. What do you think? It doesn't taste like red wine. To me, it tastes like strawberry. It tastes like a strawberry chew.
Yeah, it tastes kind of like a grape chew to me.
Yeah, you might be right, like a grape juice chew.
I'm not really picking up much on the cheese vibe here.
I taste the texture of the cheese bits, but nothing resembling a solid cheese flavor.
Now here at the back end, I am feeling a little bit of a dairy musk sensation to it.
Are you?
A little bit. Hard to say. It definitely tastes good.
And maybe...
I agree. I don't know if this should really be marketed as wine and cheese. You know, I was recently at a wedding. Happened to be my wedding last night. And was able to sample some pretty good wines and cheeses there. And I can't say that this is reminiscent of any of them.
Yeah, so we have a pretty recent reference point. It's a little disappointing. I was hoping for a very kind of almost savory, sophisticated chew.
And it's really, really, that cheese... If somebody could tell you that they could pick up on that cheese flavor, they'd really have to be an experienced palate to pick up on that.
Longtime fans of the show will remember the Korean cheese gum fiasco of, I think, episode 2 or 3. So we know that cheese-flavored sweets are possible. Here, I have isolated a little cheese bit. I'm going to pop that in separately, see if I get it.
That's a good idea.
Yeah. Ew, it's kind of gross. It tastes... like some sort of fake cheese. It does taste like cheese, but...
I'm trying to rip open this chew to get a little bit more of the cheese guts into it.
There you go. Keep it in frame here, Buster. Look at that cheese guts.
Okay. I'm going to scrape out just some of these cheese bits.
Yeah? I mean, it does taste like cheese, but in a very artificial, gross, plasticky kind of way. And I'm usually a fan of gross, plasticky things, but not in this case.
Yeah, the cheese is definitely... They didn't give their strongest effort into getting a cheese candy flavor into this. If you were to say, what kind of wine would you say they're going for here?
It just tastes like grape. I mean, at the aftertaste, I did get almost that kind of like wine bitterness grape taste, but the most subtle and at the very end, it just tastes like a grape chew with some weird crumbly bits.
It does a little bit remind me of the old days around the Seder table when we used to sip on the Manischewitz
Oh, like a
wine.
Manischewitz type
I wonder if the
sweet wine.
good folks at UHA made a Israeli partnership with the folks at Manischewitz to make this flavor.
Maybe, but they could have still done a better job. I mean,
Maybe some of those are some Hebrew figures in there.
I would recognize those. This is Japanese. I appreciate the effort. I love the packaging. I love just trying to explore exotic flavors of chews, but it's a grape chew. We can't no way around it.
I would certainly give it 5 stars. If they maybe just leave the cheese picturing off the packaging and maybe even out of the chew itself, you'd have yourself a first-rate grape chew there.
That's true, and for those who don't know, Bruce specializes almost in the grape chews of all the chews.
I do quite like the grape chews.
Yeah. Well, this was nonetheless a good experience. We learned something, very interesting flavor. And Bruce, why don't you say goodbye to the audience?
I'd like to thank you for tuning in, and I enjoy your allowing me to participate in this wonderful candy-themed podcast, videocast, whatever you'd like to call it, and I look forward to being invited back again.
Great. Feel free to comment and subscribe. See you all next time.